Hi all, back with more Fields of Fire. Normandy Mission 1, Trevieres Offensive. This is part 4. So we've got things moving. Yeah, we've completed a turn. Yeah, and I just checked the end of the sequence of play, the clean-up phase there in the rulebook. I should have went and looked at that. It says after clean-up, move the turn counter up 1 turn on the track and return at the top of the sequence of play. Unless, of course, it's the end of the mission. So that's where we're at. So we're going to go through the sequence of play again, and the first step is going to be, there's nothing else to say, I don't think. No, I think I've not watched back. I've watched back part 1 and put it out there, but that was just the introduction. So I've not watched back any of the other stuff to see if I feel like I've made any blunders. But yeah, it's not impossible. I'm going to get some things wrong, but hopefully we can get back into the swing out with this, and then if I do more of it, then I'll have a clearer understanding of things, because it has been a while since I played it. Okay, so starting on turn 2. I'll look at this, and I'll look at it in the rules just in case there's any, because usually these are sort of compressed a wee bit, compared to what it says in the actual rulebook. So starting on turn 2, draw an action card. If the HQ icon is present, determine an event on the friendly higher HQ event table. Right, so let's do that. Yeah, so we're looking for the HQ radio icon on the card. So here we go. And we do not get it. It's in that area there somewhere. Let's say it's down the bottom there, I think you usually get it. Can I show you an example of ones that's in the discard pile, maybe? Yeah, there we go. Well, it actually says HQ on it, doesn't it? So, not happening. You would think probably they're good for us and the enemy ones are bad. I can't remember exactly, but it maybe isn't quite as clear as that. Right, and then moving on then. So, defensive missions, we are not on. So we skip 3.2. Friendly command phase. So friendly command phase, we're back to that again. The battalion HQ is not on the map, so the battalion HQ will activate the COHQ, and then he's going to draw a card, and we go on from there. So we can probably just move this out of the way and get on with what we need to do here. So we're activating the COHQ. So he's going to be activated and have so many commands. We're going to draw a card now. This time we're at contact, so there's not a +1, so he's got a -1 for being green to this. And the other plus you get is if you're undercover, isn't it? So he is not undercover though. He's on the staging area still. So we draw a card, the big number, but with a -1. Ooh, it's a big 6. I was saying about the -4 there. Look, it would have just been a pin result. I think that's the very best you could get. I'm not sure how many of these are in the deck. So that's the top number. I think that's the highest one you can get. So it's 6, but we do get a -1. So we have 5. So let's bring that down and give him 5. Now, I want to say, just by going by this without looking in the rules, that, like I say, that all day means that that's the very most you can get. And the fact that you can only draw, I think it's a 6, like I just said, the 6 is the biggest one you can draw, so that kind of makes sense. So I think you can only have 6. Does that mean if you had some saved and used them though, you could still only have a maximum of 6? I think. You know what? I'll look into that more if it comes to it. But we've got 5. So this time, what we're going to do? Well, I don't want to. Yeah, just coming along. Let's have a look. I was thinking here we could maybe get the COHQ on the move. You've got to watch for communication purposes. For instance, this guy, not only is he does he not have a radio with him, even if that's not technical two, if the second platoon HQ went into the card with him. Thing is, that's not going to happen now because his mind's in this card. Then it would have to go into the cover to then be able to communicate with him, because he needs to visually, verbal communicate. And even if it was on the same card, he's got a radio. If they both had radios, that would be fine. But that's not the case. But that's not going to happen. This guy, I want to say, is possibly going to move with general initiative. Maybe move up into here into the village. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. Yeah, I was talking about the fact we've got many commands there, maybe to send stuff up into the cemetery, but we know this mortar's still here. It is going to open fire. It's got one more fire mission, and it is going to open up again. Now, it can't shoot down into the staging area, so the fact that there's got line of sight right down to this card, it can't shoot into there. This is a safe area for us. But it will be able to shoot into here or here, and depending on what we put in there. Now, we will be able to have an attempt at maybe spotting it. However, I think it is going to fire again, isn't it? I might need to find out how it decides what to fire. I think what it basically means is I can't really shove everybody up into here just yet. I think I need to stay back. So what do you want to do then, Grant? Well, we've got 5 commands, so I think we just use 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. We save the other 2, and we activate first platoon, who's got 1 save command. That's third platoon, who's got 1 save command, and we activate second platoon as well, who didn't have any save commands. And then, like I say, just save the other 2. I think that makes sense. So now we go on to draw for these, and how did I say it worked? Yeah, you do 1 at a time, don't you? Okay, let me just have a wee pause and think about maybe what I'm going to do here. Right, okay, I was just wondering about how this mortar works with its next fire mission. I also noticed a mistake that I'd made. I'll try and put that in the comments. There shouldn't have been a PDF marker. The forward observer's just calling this in from off map. The fire's not coming from there, although so I don't think there was a PDF. However, it did say it on, and I just kind of got carried away with that. It did actually say it on the actual package, doesn't it? Well, actually, it says place VOF/PDF. So no, that's not technically telling you. So now, if it had been a mortar section like what we've got down here, or a mortar squad or a mortar team, whatever it is, then obviously that would create a direction of fire because it's coming from there. But there shouldn't have been one there, so that was a bit of yeah. It doesn't really make any odds in that situation, but it shouldn't have been there anyway. Right, so it says, provided the spotter remains in good order. This is about what this mortar forward observer is going to do. And has fire missions remaining, which it does, it has 1. It continues to attempt to call for fire on cards with opposing units in the enemy activity check of subsequent turns with the following priority. Units in the same card as its target marker. Yeah. See, I think I was right in taking it away. I don't feel like I used to do that in the past though. I seem to recall it went from that stage to that stage. That it was like it was pending another fire mission. However, there's no targets on this card now. So it did seem to suggest in the rules that was removed. It wasn't flipped back to that. So it's saying there that units in the same card as its target marker. Now, if this had still been here and there was units here, that's what we would target. However, I think because there was no targets available there, that comes away. So that step 1 doesn't apply. Then it says a card within its line of sight that has a vehicle. There's none of them. The card within its line of sight that has the most steps. So that's what it's then going to look at. And right at the moment, before we do anything else, this assault team's got the most steps, so it's going to fire into here against that. Which, I mean, the other thing is, I need to get my stuff moving. I can't just sit back. I mean, the other thing about it is we know he's only got 1 fire mission left, so he's going to use that, and then I want to see he just disappears off the map. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe that's not quite the case. I mean, I could bring that up into there if I got a come on. Well, for instance, this is 3rd platoon here. I could activate 3rd platoon, move them up into here, and then give an order for this assault team to go up into there, you know. But then we've got all our stuff on here. What happens to the forward observer if an enemy comes on his card though? Yeah, it says yeah, and this time he is actually going to do the call for fire, so he isn't actually going to have to draw cards. So it might fail. However, if he fails, that means that he's still got the 1 mission left. He's still got the 1 fire mission. It doesn't get sort of used up. It says there, enemy spotters will continue to call for fire until out of missions, or until reduced to an LAT, even if opposing units enter their terrain card, even going so far as to call for fire upon their own card. They only flip to their fire team side as a result of a combat hit, F or A. Remove good order spotters who have expended all their available fire missions in the next enemy activity phase. Yeah, so if they've not got any fire missions left, then they just disappear, they just go off the map. So they're going to keep firing, and in fact, if that assault team moved up into there, and we didn't put anything on this card or this card, it would actually call for fire on this card where the assault team is. So it's going to look for the card with the most steps. So I mean, if I do start moving stuff up here, it is going to call for fire on here. But how does it? Wait a sec. Right, being on pause here for a bit. There's a way of trying to look at stuff and just looking at the incoming and thing. Hopefully I've got that right, I think. But I was just trying to work out again. It's kind of scary for me to move units into these 2 cards, isn't it? Because we know there's going to be an incoming fire, which is pretty brutal. It does affect the whole card. It's a -3, wasn't it? So, yeah, it's maybe not something I don't want to chuck stuff into here, really, do I'd rather just leave that there for that to fire on that again. And then once it's out of fire missions, then we can move forward. So maybe we've just got to take it easier, just slow things down. However, this is a safe card to beat. This is not, and this is not because of the mortars. And clearly this is not as well because it's got mines on it. So I think I want to get 2nd platoon moved up. And now 2nd platoon also has the artillery forward observer as well. Now, yeah. Well, let's do 2nd platoon first. So he didn't have any saved commands. So we're going to draw a card for him now. He is. Well, we're still at contact because of the mines. And yeah, I do feel slightly uncomfortable about that. I feel like I always had a pending fire mission before, but then it could be that I always still had something to fire at. I think that's what's maybe throwing me. Of course, again, this is something that might have got adjusted. Well, if you looked up your old rules in the clean-up phase, does it say the same about removing them? It does not. So there you go. In the cleanup phase of the old rules, it doesn't mention enemies firing at cards without valid target shift ceasefire. So I think you used to leave the pending fire mission on. But then if you had a casualty, would it not then move? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, we'll leave that one there. I think it's okay how I've done it. Because he definitely doesn't want to fire again on there. The enemy will not do that. Now, if it was... Well, he's having to call for fire as well. But if it was an automatic kind of fire, the enemy get to kind of sneak that one away, whereas we've got to give an order to shift fire or cease fire so that they kind of get away with that a little bit better than us. Okay, so second platoon HQ is green and we're at contact. Yeah, so it's going to get one less than the large number. So let's see what he gets. So it's a 4 of the large number, so he's going to get a 3. So let's get him worked on first. So he's got 3 commands, which is quite good. I was thinking about a platoon move here. Now, what is all involved? Do we get everything, or are these part of it? Well, I'll need to maybe look that one up. Right, so a platoon move a platoon to an adjacent card. This costs 2 commands, but you get to move everybody. All good order units of that platoon on the same card that are not marked as exposed have each unit in the platoon perform a move to an adjacent card action. All units move on to the same card. Units on the card who are out of communication with the originator remain in place. Yeah, so I was just still feeling a little unsure about if it's just the platoon HQ and the squads of the platoon. But it must be these two. These are attached to the platoon, so they're still part of the platoon. So I'm pretty sure that's fine, and they all get to move up. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to give them... Yeah, I'm going to use 2 commands to do a platoon move for all these units into this card. So they're all going to move up there, and they're all going to be marked exposed. Right, now I'm pretty sure I didn't do this before. I'm sure I just put them all in one stack and an exposed marker on top. I've kind of started by spreading things about a bit. I might change that procedure. I think it's like I could have just put them all stacked together with exposed marker on the top. It is kind of easier once the exposed marker comes off. You can see each individual sort of squad or unit or team or whatever it is. So see, I'll stick with that for now, but I think that's going to be... It's got its pluses and minuses, that, I think. Right, so they've all moved up. That cost us 2 commands. The assault team was already there now. He's lost his exposed marker. Now, I do have 1 command left, and I could have, like, ordered the assault team maybe forward into one of these cards. But... Well, why not? Why not, maybe? The worry is that... Well, what is the worry? I mean, when you go up into that card, Grant, when they check for contact, it's going to be on that card that's the issue, or whatever card you go to. I think I would maybe go to that village. Mind you, this guy here is probably going to have to move with a general initiative. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my general initiative is going to be on that guy. So... do I want to push forward? Maybe I don't. Maybe I just want to save that command just now, rather than Now, isn't there a limit to the amount of steps on a card, Grant? That's a thing. I know there's issues with having so many steps under a cover marker, but I think there is still a limit to the amount of steps on a card. So let me just check what that is again. Yeah, so the stacking on a card is 16 steps and 4 vehicles. And the other one that I wanted to check was it's three steps under a cover marker. That's safe. Anything above that, and if the cover marker gets hit by anything, you get a -1 per step above the 3. So what we got there, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so we've got 11 steps, so that is fine, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get rid of this, I think. When you come to actually decide what you want to do with these, though, it means you're moving through a big stack of units. So, like I say, there's pluses and minuses to it. Right, so I do have one command available still. So do I want to scout ahead, maybe? I mean, the next step up is potential contact A, and at the moment, at a contact level, the number of cards to draw for a contact A is 7 cards, so it's highly likely you're not going to get away with that one. You're going to find somebody. But we do have plenty of time, really. Now the other thing was I could have sent him up there, and that might draw the mortar fire to there. I don't think it matters. It's just I don't feel like I want to push these up into here, because I mean they're just going to get. I mean, what if he fails to call for fire? Well, if he fails to call for fire, he's still sitting with a fire mission. We'd kind of sort of like to just leave this guy as a guinea pig and let them fire on that. Maybe get lucky. If not, we get another casualty, and then at least he's done with his fire missions, and then we can safely move into these hexes. I don't know. My thinking here might be all wrong, and you might be sort of saying, that's a daft way to look at it and wait about. Like I say, I haven't played the game for ages as well, so strategy-wise, you're not going to get anything great here. So, well, it does mean that we're sitting with these 2 platoons sitting on the staging area, frightened to move then, doesn't it? Because what I could have done was moved the 3rd platoon HQ up here, and then gave that an order to move up. But then 3rd platoon HQ's sitting here. I don't want my HQs sitting in one of these 2 cards. But you might want to try and spot the guy. The fact he's only got 1 fire mission left, though, is kind of makes you feel like just sit back and wait. Because I could put a squad up there and then try and spot him. And if we spot him, then we're starting to fire at him. But in the fact the fire phase is all, it's all at the same time. They would be firing their mission anyway, and okay, we might get a hit on him, but he's going to disappear anyway. So it kind of makes you want to just sit tight just now. It's maybe silly, I don't know. Right, well we're going to save that last command of 2nd platoon. So he's saved 1. So let's draw. I think I am going to leave them. You know what? You're going to learn from whatever it is we do here, and yeah, you may well be making stupid moves. So let's activate 1st platoon. He's got a +1, and no, he's not. He's not got a +1 because we're still at contact. Nothing's changed. So he's got a -1 to this because he's green. Oh dear. Right, okay, so that's a 2, -1 is a 1. So that was 1st platoon, he had saved 1. So he's now on 2. But I think I'm just going to save them. I was looking at the counters, they're all bashed about a bit. That one in particular, it's all worn away. So it's well played with anyway. Yeah, I think so. Like I say, it's a kind of learning process. So I'm going to save the 2 commands. Going to move on to 3rd platoon. He gets a -1 as well. 3 -1's 2. So he's from 1 that he saved, he's up to 3. And you can save, yeah, you can save a maximum of 6. That's for white. No. We're green during the day, aren't we? So it's actually 3. You can only have 3 saved. Because the platoon HQs are green, aren't they? So I think that's right. I'd like to... I'm going to go by this just now. I will have a look at the rulebook at some point. It's just a bit of a pain looking at the rulebook. I'm finding myself going across the computer to search rather than doing a tablet. I think I said this already. I don't want to try and search through with a tablet. It just seems more awkward. Right, but it looks like during the day, a green platoon HQ can save 3 commands. So I think I'm just going to save them. And then hopefully next turn we can get a bunch of commands and start doing something. Right, so that is the... I'm not going to show this now. I'm just going to read it off camera. That was the platoon HQ impulse. So now we move into the initiative segment, the COHQ impulse. Right, no, we'll skip that, skip the platoon HQ. So it's the CO staff impulse. And they just get given 1 command each again, and we're just going to save them again. So the XO is basically going to get 1 command and then save it and move up to 2. So is the first sergeant. And we'll just keep hold of them just now. The good thing about the first sergeant is he is veteran. What's the XO? Is the XO green as well? Yeah, he is. But the first sergeant's veteran, so he can actually save up to 6 commands during the day. Right, so that's that impulse. So now this is a bigger one now. So general initiative impulse, draw an action card, unmodified. So it's the unmodified small number, isn't it? Is that right? Draw an action card and spend on any units a number of commands equal to the unmodified initiative commands. Yeah. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, so we're going to draw for general initiative here, and so it's not modified this, and it's a small number. So here we go. Oh, that's a good one. 3. Right, so we've got 3 initiative commands, general initiative commands anyway. So I'm gonna put a dice there, just in case I get dragged away or something. So we've got 3. Well, I did say that one of the best moves is going to be moving him up there, and then why not try and find cover? Because there is a possible urban cover, like stone. What is it? You can get a strong building in this scenario. So does that make sense? I think so, actually. Yeah. So we're going to use our first general initiative to move this guy out of cover. Now, moving off the card does... Right, he shouldn't be exposed. It's because I had the cover marker off him. That's right, isn't it? I should have removed that exposed marker. Yeah, because he moved in the first thing. Yeah, okay. So he's going to move out of his cover. That cover stays there on the card. And he's going to move forward. Now he has a squad, so he's allowed to do that. So that was 1 initiative. And, well, he's going to be marked exposed again, Grant, isn't he? Okay, yeah, I would have preferred this to have been an assault team, to be honest, but yeah, well, you could have done that with us. You could have put that assault team up there. No, you've kind of skipped by that now. You've kind of messed that up. I was kind of forgetting this was a squad, a 2-step squad. Right, okay. Right, well, we're going to use the next general initiative command to seek cover. Not liking not having the physical book, to be honest. I did think if this would start, if it would bother me. There's certain bits I suppose I could print out. I mean, I'm going to look at the actions here, you know, whereas it's a rally action, this, is it? Seat cover? Yeah. No. Movement action. Yeah, okay, so I don't think I need to look too much at it. Just try and do what you think's right. So we're drawing 4 cards. There's 3 different types of cover. This is in a village. So we're going to draw 4 cards looking for the word cover. Yeah, so let's do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we go. 1, that's a rally. No, come on. Contact, no. Oh dear. Right, now can we exhort this? I'm not sure. Exhort allows you to draw another card. Because we can't do the action again. We can't try and seek cover again. Where's the exhort command then? Right, I'm not seeing that. Is that just one of the command ones at the top, I think? Yeah, exhort. So, yeah, that's the problem. The originator needs to be any HQ or staff. And it's got a wee 1 beside it. Requires the originator HQ to carry it out in general initiative. Yeah, so we would need to have the HQ with us there. Damn. Okay. So we did not find cover. Well, that's pretty bad. Right, we've got 1 general initiative left then. Oof, I'm not so sure I want to do anything with it though. But you can't save it, Grant, so... Well, hold on. What about this guy? What about moving this guy up? Well, that means in our potential contact situation, but it does mean he's going to call fire down on this actual hex. You know what? That's a +3 in there as well. I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, let's do that. Let's move this guy up and mark him exposed. Yeah, that may be crazy, but I get the feeling now, so that was my last general initiative. I get the feeling after reading that he is now... Now hang on, could we have attempted to spot him rather than do that? Yeah, we could have, but I don't feel like that's going to achieve anything because we would have nothing firing at him because he's got point blank range, so he couldn't then fire. But then again, I'm firing, but like calling fire on his own card. Well, he'd either be calling it here or here then. The problem with this is we're gonna look up for another potential contact now, aren't we? Okay, well, let's just go with that. Like I say, I think this is definitely going to be a learning scenario just to bring me back to how it all works. And probably look back on it and say that's a silly thing to do, Grant, but you've done it now. Okay, so that's our general initiative over. So what's the next step? Offensive missions, enemy activity phase. Right, enemy higher HQ event segment. Starting on turn 2, draw an action card if the HQ icon is present. Determine an event on the enemy higher HQ event table. So here we go. And nothing again. No HQ event, so that's good. I think they're pretty much bad when it comes to them. Enemy activity check segment. Enemies firing at cards without valid target shift ceasefire. So if it didn't happen with that guy then, it would have happened now. Although he's kind of calling fire in, it's a wee bit different, but I think it all works the same. So check every enemy unit on the map for activity. Determine card order randomly. On each card, check units based on their status on the activity check hierarchy tables. But I don't know if if I can look at these enemy activity check hierarchies and find the mortar forward observer thing. I don't think so. I think this is just for... I think I need to go and look, because it's a special case, this, isn't it? It's the same with, what is it? A sniper. They've got their own instructions rather than just the normal machine guns or squads. So let's go and have a look in the rules again. Yeah, so page 67, 8.10 is enemy indirect fire spotters. Like the sniper, enemy spotters are not governed by the enemy activity hierarchy, but by their own rules as described below. However, if pinned or reduced to a lat, they will then follow the enemy pinned lat activity hierarchy. It goes on, I've read this bit before, this is what happened initially. When an incoming package is triggered, place an activated incoming VOF marker on the same card as the unit which triggered the incoming package. Place the enemy spotter as described in the package description. The initial fire happens automatically without the need for a draw. Right, well, we've done all that, but this is now the next turn. So it says, provided the spotter remains in good order, which he is, and has fire missions remaining, he has 1. It continues to attempt to call for fire on cards with opposing units in the enemy activity check of subsequent turns with the following priority. Units in the same card as its target marker. Well, the target marker's not on there. That's the bit that was like, I was a wee bit unsure about. Hopefully we're right, but hopefully somebody will correct me if I've got it wrong. A card within its line of sight that has a vehicle. There's no vehicles. Well, there is a Jeep, but it's back in the staging area. The card within its line of sight that has the most steps. Well, he's not got anything. This is not a valid target. There's nothing in here. There's nothing in here. There is something in here. So it then says, which I suppose is in his line of sight. If multiple cards have an equal number of steps... Oh, sorry. The next one is the card within its line of sight, which is closest. So obviously if it had a range, a range of 2, and there was stuff in here and there was stuff in here, then it would go to the closest one. No, not that it could fire down here, but you know what I'm saying. Now, if no target exists, the spotter does nothing. So I'm hoping that's not going to be the case, because we kind of want him to do this. Yeah, but I did read that it done number of available missions, including the initial one. Yeah, fire mission expended if the call for fire attempt is successful. Enemy spotters will continue to call for fire until out of missions, or until reduced to an LAT if opposing units enter their terrain card. Even if opposing units enter their terrain card. Even going so far as to call for fire upon their own card. They only flip to their fire team side as a result of a combat hit. Well, that tells me that they're going to do it here. So, I think we get a pending fire mission in here. I think so. Now, am I putting that right? Should it be a pending fire mission? Let's sequence of play here. When do we check for... Yeah, there we go. See, in the mutual combat phase, the first step, 3.7.1, fire mission update segment, remove existing incoming and airstrike VOF markers, and then flip pending markers to their active sides. However, no, he's not beginning to put this on just yet. He's got to draw cards for it, isn't he? This time. The initial fire happens automatically without the need for a draw. Yeah, I think I need to go back to our fire. Yeah, that's a bit messy, but okay. So I'll go back to indirect fire missions. It's as if this is, that bit that I just read is in the enemy part. But I think you need to go back to indirect fire missions to find out how they actually work. Yeah. So call for fire prerequisites. target availability. Yeah, I'm not going to read all that. So where does it tell you how to resolve it? Resolving an attempt to call for fire, 7.16.3. Draw a number of action cards modified by experience level as indicated in the mission instructions for the type of fire missions being performed. The attempt is successful if a burst icon, including 3 burst icon, is present on one of the cards. If successful, place a pending fire mission marker on the target and expend an available fire mission on the mission log. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's... I mean, the first one was automatic, yeah. But then now he's got to check for it. So in his... we need the mission booklet. It tells us that they have... What is it? The mortars. What does it tell us about their mortars? Yeah. Spotter information. Yeah, so they have, it's a -3 NCM. They get 4 draws and they only have 2 fire missions. So he's getting to draw 4 cards. He has line quality, so nothing gets adjusted. So I want to say that reading that, if he'd been veteran, he would have got a +1 to that, maybe. It did say draw a number of action cards modified by experience. Right, so he's not anyway. So he's going to get to draw 4 cards, and he's targeting his own card that he's sitting on. Strange, but I did say it there. So let's get 4 cards ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're looking for the big fire burst here to see what we get. So that's a no. Just kind of awkward. I'd like to be able to put these somewhere. Right, there we go. So he's got the result. And we look at the other ones just to be sure. That was only one he got, eh? Right. So he does have that. So now we have a pending fire mission in there. Right, that's it. And there's no other enemy activity to check because that was the only enemy. The mines don't do anything. They just sit there now, and if we go onto that card, it means, I think this is what the sort of debate was about, because it means you're sitting at contact constantly through the these mines are going to be here the rest of the time, so you're always going to be at contact, at least. So, but it did say that it was confirmed there. I mean, okay, it was a couple of years ago that, so I don't think I read anything in the... Yeah, because there was something written about, well, to see if you see mines, Grant, if there's something about mines. No, there's nothing jumping out there or saying anything about it. I'll leave it for now. Yeah, what I'm starting to wonder about is this, because that means, and I just came across a question when I was searching for things, because should that not now change our activity level? Give me a second. Yeah, I had that question just there. Shania answered that question. The guy was asking, like, if that counts as a, for the activity level, does it count as a VOF, if you like? However, what he said is that this is going to change in 3.7. The Fire Mission update segment is going to flip that to its active side. So then there is a VOF on that card, and that step happens just before the potential contact evaluation segment. So at the moment, we're still at contact. However, as we go into the potential contact segment, that's going to flip. Well, that's going to have flipped, and then we're going to be engaged, aren't we? Because engaged is 2+ friendly occupied hexes are under VOF markers. Well, hang on. Friendly occupied, Grant. Now, this isn't friendly occupied anymore. So I'm wrong by what I'm saying there. I was saying that sits Oh well, that does apply to. Well, what does it say? See the word in that is. I need to read that again about the contact. Yeah. Right. Well, let's carry on just now, and I'll find this bit. I need to find out about this again. So at the moment, I believe we're still at contact, unless it's meaning. You need to go and look at this now, Grant. Right, give me a second. Right, okay, I'm kind of struggling here, and it must just be me. So, current activity level, no contact. Right, and it says no VOF or PDF markers are on the map, including unactivated mines. So what that means is this is counted because this is an unactivated mines card. So that means this is not no contact. And it says activity level does not reduce to no contact. So I don't think we can ever have no contact the rest of the game because of the mines. However, if there's nothing else on the map and it's just these mines, for contact it says one friendly occupied or enemy occupied card is under a VOF marker, or there is at least one spotted enemy unit on the map. Well, that doesn't apply there. So if we can't have no contact with that, the description of contact doesn't match up with that. If that was the only thing we're looking at here. Okay, we've got this pending fire mission as well. Which I understand that the answer to the question back 2 years ago was that Ben Hall had confirmed that this did count as a VOF marker. Also, I believe this did as well. So, however, the question that the guy had just asked that Shania had answered was that this is going to turn over before you check for potential contact markers anyway. It's just the difference between the two. If this mines was the only thing on the card, it says it can't be considered no contact, but the description of contact doesn't match that. I've got to assume that, and I think the description of contact should have some more information in there to say that, it should say that or including unactivated mines, something like that in there. I think it's maybe just me. Okay, so we're going to call that a VOF. Thing is, it's just not on a friendly occupied card, so that's what I'm confused about. And so I think we're sitting at contact right now. Yeah, okay, well let's evaluate it once this time comes. Right, so now I'm lost. Where was I? Yeah, the only enemy activity was the forward observer. He's got a pending fire mission on the card that he's on, so he's going to get attacked as well. Going to get hit by it. A rather strange one, but it did actually word it there that he might do that if that's his only option. No, nothing else to fire at. So yes. So that was enemy check, activity check, mutual capture and retreat. Don't need any of that. There's no vehicles. So fire mission update segment. Remove existing incoming, and then flip pending markers to the active sides. So now we re-evaluate the activity level, and to me, it's not engaged because there's not 2 or more occupied cards with VOF markers on them. That's the thing. 2 or more occupied cards. Well, in actual fact, if there was 2, this would be heavily engaged, because that heavily engaged is 2 or more occupied cards are under VOF markers, and at least one card has both enemy and friendly units on it. So we've got enemy and friendly on that. But, this doesn't have this is the other VOF we're looking at, but it doesn't have a it's not occupied. So I can only say that we're still at contact then. Because we've got one friendly occupied or enemy occupied cards under a VOF marker. Or there's at least one spotted enemy unit on the map. So I think when we're looking at that, we don't consider that as such. But if that wasn't there, we would still consider that and it'd be at contact, I think. I think that I'm missing something there. I feel like I'm missing something there. Maybe something to go and ask. Just to, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's something simple that I'm missing. Okay, so I'm going to say we're at contact still, because now it's relevant, because we're about to step into 3.7.2, potential contact evaluation segment. So we're going to evaluate between, we've got this guy with a potential contact, and we've got this guy with a potential contact. And these are A's. So they're both A's. We need to decide between the two. So we're going to randomise on 1, 2. We draw a reshuffle. So we still draw this card, and we get a 2. So it's going to be that one first. But we do need to reshuffle first. Yeah, so it's got to be that guy up there first. And we're saying we're at contact, which I think is right. To be honest, that's more beneficial for them, because they're going to get to draw 7 cards. Whereas if we were engaged, they'd only get 5 cards. And this is a potential contact A marker, so they're more likely to get it than not. Okay, so I'm just shuffling up, and I'm going to draw 7 cards. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one more. 7. So let's zoom out again, and we're looking for contact. Let's cover. I'll just draw them like that. No, that's 3. 4. Oh, come on. 5. Yeah, you got excited at the wrong time, man. There was only 1 as well. Right, that's all 7 cards drawn, and there is contact. So what is there? Determine enemy package to use and placement per 8.3. So I need the briefing booklet again, don't I? Yeah. Right, so I'm just going to do this off camera. So we're looking at potential contact A's this time. So I draw and look at a D10. I get a 3. So the package there is an HMG nest. It's package number 8. I need to keep that open to find out where it's going, don't I? Right, where's the... Yeah, so I can show you that on that. Just use that rather than the rule book. So package 8 is a heavy machine gun nest. Place VOF PDF, yes. Unit spotted, yes. At maximum line of sight would be the placement on the actual package. And then it's a squad and heavy machine gun team under foxholes. And the wee asterisk there tells us there's 2 types of German squads, STL and AL. The start of missions 1, 6 and 7 place all of those squads in a cup. When one is called for by the PC tables, randomly draw a squad from the cup, place it at full strength. For missions 2, 3, 5, only use squads A to L. So I'll deal with that in a minute. First of all, okay, I'm just wondering, are they going to automatically fire? Yeah, I think they do, because they do have a friendly on the card, yeah. Mind you, he's calling in fire on themselves, so my guess is they do. I don't know, I want to say that something stops them from doing that. Well, I'll see in a minute. Let's get a heavy machine gun. Let's sort these squads out as well. Yeah, so give me a minute. Right, okay, I was working a few things out there. Yeah, page 62 is where I want to be. Where are we? 61, I wasn't far away. Yeah, the placement. If multiple units are listed, and yeah, this is what I was wanting to try and find out, because although we've got a squad, and then it's a slash oblique heavy machine gun team under foxholes. So I get the heavy machine gun team under foxholes. I get the squad. It tells us about the squad down here. I've put them in a cup. In fact, you know what? It's going to randomise. It's going to shuffle these about, and we're going to draw one. We're kind of hoping for an S. Oh, we got lucky. Right, so that's what we're going to get. 2-3 platoon as a squad. We've got our heavy machine guns ready. But that oblique rather than a plus is relevant, and that's what I was trying to find. It says if multiple units are listed, place those with a plus sign together on the same card. Place those separated by an oblique character on separate cards, and that way a complex contact may occur from multiple directions simultaneously. Right, it doesn't give you an order, but I'm going to go in the order that they're listed in. So we're going to check for the squad first, and then the heavy machine gun under foxholes. But they do have to go on different cards, so we need to keep that in mind as well. Where's the squad going then, Grant? So unit placement, we're going to draw a D10 again. We've got a 5, so this is for the squad, 2-3 platoon. A 5 front at max line of sight, so they've only got a long range, so they can go 2 cards if possible. Well, yeah, I remember asking this question before. I think I asked this question, or I went looking for it anyway. So front at max line of sight would be there, or it could be another card if you were able to fire through this card. Well, if we were up high enough, we would be able to fire through that card. So if we do we'd need to draw 3 hills and then something else to be able to fire through it. I want to say I went and go and ask this question, because you think about it, it's not I suppose if there was no hills at all there, we would draw another card, because he is at long range and could be on another card if we could guarantee he was able to fire through that. The fact that it's up 2 levels, we can't guarantee it, so I get the feeling I either asked the question or I went looking for it. Because, okay, it's a bit extreme when we've got 2 hills here, but let's just say we had 1 hill. It could be potential for us to draw 2 hills at the back there and then be able to still fire from there into that card. But anyway, that's max line of sight. We're not going to mess about with that. That's max line of sight for that. So now we need to randomly select for the heavy machine gun team. And it can't go on the same card here. So we're going to draw a D10 again. We've got a 2 this time. That's going to be per package table placement. So on the package table for the heavy machine gun nest, it just says at max line of sight. Well, it's not giving you a direction. So I need to know if it's going to be, well, we know it can't be front, so it needs to be left or right. So I think when I got to situations like this, I just drew a random, rather than cycle through cards to find. The thing is, they're all at max line of sight, aren't they? But there are some different placements for different things. Most of them are max line of sight. Some of them are on same card and on adjacent cards. But that's relevant to the package. This is clearly wanting to be at max line of sight. So what I'm going to do here is, and we know it can't be at front because it can't go into the same card. I mean, I don't think it can. It said it would be separate cards. So we're going to say left or right at max line of sight. Max line of sight to the left will be on that card because there's no way of firing through that. Remember, this has got a very long range though. So max line of sight that way could potentially go out 3 cards, possibly. What we'd need to do is draw a card here first, and then if it had white borders coming through the diagonals, we'd draw another card, and if it had white borders go through the diagonals, we'd draw another card. So I'm going to just randomise between a 1 and a 2. So we're going to say obviously the left is a 1 and the right is a 2, Because that's only bits that can go. Can't go front. It's either going to go left front or right front. Yeah, okay, so a 1 to the left, a 2 to the right. Let's draw a card. On the 2, it would be. Right, so it's out to the right. I was kind of hoping it wasn't going to be that, to be honest. Just to make things easier for myself. So now we need to create another terrain card here. So I've got them shuffled at the side as well. I'll just move them a little bit over there. And we'll draw one card here that's going to go in there. Now, I'm not going to get this under the plexi, unfortunately, so that's asking a bit too much, I think. So let's see what this is. It is a farm. Fortunately, it doesn't run through to the next, it's not got white borders on the diagonals, or we would then look for another card. So he's going to go in here. He's got automatic fire. Now, that wee arrow tells us, I want to say, that's something to do with it's a tripod, isn't it? It's a tripod, I think, something like that. And he's under foxholes. So he was the one that was under foxholes. Yeah, and that card's just going to annoy me because it's not sitting nice under the plexi, but okay, so there we go. So now we've got some VOFs and PDFs, etc. Well, he is firing this way. Oh, and that was the other thing I looked up. And it does say that the enemy will fire on cards that have both friendlies and enemy on it, whereas we don't automatically fire if there's a friendly on the card. They do, and they don't care about it. So that's that. So the heavy machine gun's firing there, and then also the platoon, the squad, is firing from there as well. So a couple other things going to happen. So we've still got the incoming from the mortar. That would produce small arms fire. However, this would produce automatic fire. So that... Well, I think it does have to go in the card, because this is a special VOF. So I think we have to place the automatic weapons. But on top of that now, we're also getting a crossfire, because they're firing from 2 directions. So that creates... a -1 as well, an additional -1 crossfire. Yeah, so I think that's okay. And that guy's looking like he's in a bit of bother. Now, will the crossfire stack then with the incoming? I'm not sure. And that incoming, it doesn't have any... No. Yeah, maybe I need to check crossfire just to see if it does stack. I mean, obviously, if it was the automatic weapons that were affecting the fire, it would automatically... I'm just wondering if you get that extra -1 for that. Again, just a bit rusty and not sure. So I will check that in a minute. I think that's it, isn't it? So that's that package placed. Yeah, okay. Okay, well, I had a look. I can't find anything that says that crossfire wouldn't apply. Obviously, we're not going to use the automatic weapons because this is going to be a -3, but I think that's going to turn it into a -4. So again, though, something that if they want to tell me I've got that wrong, it's possible. Okay, so we've got to resolve this potential contact now as well. Now we are at, well, I think we're still, are we not still just at contact? Or are we engaged? 2+ friendly occupied cards. No. No, we are still at contact. Ooh, yuck. So that means we're drawing another 7 cards. Yeah, because basically the VOF we had was on this card, and now it's... Oh, hang on. I forgot something. Were the units spotted? I think they might have been. Yes, they are actually. So that's fine. So I don't need to put the marker on top of them. I do need to take that away though, Grant. We don't want to have to do it again. So they are spotted. Is that relevant? Don't think so. Don't think it matters. It matters to no contact. I'm just looking at my wee card here because rather than try to find it in the rules again. Engaged, and at least one card has both enemy and friendly units in it. But engaged is not. There's not two friendly occupied cards that are under VOF markers. There's only one. If there was two, we would be heavily engaged because we're on the same card. Right, okay, so it is 7. So we're going to draw 7 cards for contact here as well. 5, 6, 7. Right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh! Oh! Better not be. So we've got one more to draw. 7. Oh, how about that? Wow. Okay, a bit of luck. No contact. 7 cards. And we have to reshuffle. Okay, well, at least that's something. Oh, and this was our squad as well. No, not that. I'm going to take that away, though. That was our squad, and they didn't find the cover as well, didn't they? So, yeah, a bit of relief there. Okay, so that is, I need to get this part wrapped up now. An hour and 6 minutes. Well, yeah, we can finish this turn, though. That's the thing, it's not really, it's quite a quick game. Well, especially with a scenario like this. But I'm sure as I get moving a bit better, it'll be a bit quicker as well. I'm always going to be slow, though. You're never going to get quick playthroughs. Where are we? Potential contact, that's done. Pinned recovery segment. Oh. No, the only thing that we've had hit, you've got to remember that anytime something's hit, it gets pinned as well. But the only thing that we got hit ended up being a casualty, didn't it? So, pinned recovery segment. We don't need, and yeah, we should have updated the, it's still, the activity level still contact. Right, combat effect segment. For each infantry on a card with VOF, determine the SCM, draw an action card to determine if the fire is effective. Units hit, draw another card. Right, well, they're going to get some of this as well this time. Because their forward observer is on that card. I mean, he's not spotted, but yeah, the fire's coming in on the card, yeah. We wouldn't be able to fire at him from another card, but it's his own fire that's coming in. So he needs to be checked as well. So it's a -3 for the fire mission. Oh, you know what else I didn't do? Right, give me a second. Yeah, so I was just updating the enemy info there. So there's 2-3 platoon there, line. They don't track ammo because they're just small arms fire. The heavy machine gun team is line. They actually have 8 ammo, and it tells you that in the mission enemy information, HMG 8. So that's what they've got. So they'll be able to sit there and fire for quite a bit. We're going to have to do something about them because that is our secondary objective. So if they're not firing in here, they're going to be firing into there. The only good thing is they can't fire through to the primary objective, but yeah, that is the primary objective, yeah. Okay, so I've updated that. So yeah, we're going to work out the net combat modifier now for our is it assault team? Yeah, so he's got a -2 for exposed. Right, hang on. What plus is he getting? It's a +3 for being in the village. And then he's getting -3 for the incoming. So that cancels that out. He's then getting -2 for being exposed and a -1 for the crossfire, which I think is right. So that's a -3 in total. He isn't under any cover. So we draw a card on a -3. And he's hit. Look at that. That was quite a decent card as well. Almost pinned. Right, but it's not pinned, Grant. It's hit. Okay, so he's line quality. So we draw another card to see what happens to him. Oh, it's another casualty. Harsh. Okay. So that comes off. That comes off as well. He's a goner. And we get another casualty. So doesn't need to be pinned, but I mean I suppose it should be technically under that exposed mark. I don't see the point in that. Yeah, there's not a point. They can't do anything more to that as a casualty in that set. Right, okay, but they do have to get something. So they're getting a +3. +3 -3, because that's what's coming, the incoming fire. So it's a 0. They're getting and they're getting a -1 for the crossfire. Yeah, they're still going to get that. So they're sitting at -1, so we'll check them now. And a -1 is a pin result, so that is something. However, I'm saying it's something. That's them just used their last fire mission, so it's not going to do anything. So they get a pinned marker on them. Yeah, okay. And then, well, that's it. That's all the fire to be dealt with, isn't it? So now you would then, well, update ammo levels of units exerting basic volume of fire. That's per 7.18. Yeah, so the machine gun, the heavy machine gun has spent one of its ammo. So it's down to 7. The platoon didn't fire in, and that's a mortar spotter. That's his last fire mission gone. So he's now out. Now I want to say it told us when he went away. Is it the next? Oh, it's not until the next enemy activity check, isn't it? I'm not sure if that's that relevant or not. I want to say this will come away. Well, actually, will they not all come away? Because enemies firing at cards without valid target shift ceasefire. So they would definitely not be firing this target card, that card anymore. Where can I find a bit more information about that? 3 point... No, it's the cleanup phase, isn't it? 3.8. Because I know, I mean, if it was us right now, if we were firing on that card, we wouldn't, nothing would change. If that was one of our units and we were firing at that card, they'd just stay firing. We've got to give a command to like stop it from happening. But that's where the AI gets a bit of a break. 3.8 cleanup phase. Where are we? Yeah, that's a pain. Have all enemies units firing upon cards without valid targets, which is any non-casualty units, receive a ceasefire order and open fire elsewhere as per 6.1.1. Thing is, there is still a valid target, if you like, because the Mortar Spotter is a valid target, but from the enemy did I say 6.1.1 or... Yeah, opening fire. Give me a second. It says there, friendly units will not automatically open fire on a card where units from both sides are present. It just says friendly units, and I did read elsewhere that they would. I think I maybe need to go to the enemy part of things here, which is section 8, isn't it? Yeah, okay, I've been hunting for... I'm not sure about this one as well. Again, it's just... I feel like there's still a valid target because the Mortar Observer is still here. So I think these still fire upon it. I know they're firing on their own unit. If it was us, we would keep firing. We would have to give them an order. I know they get sort of... Well, right, in any phase at all, I think, if at any time they're firing a card that's not got valid targets, then they cease fire. So clearly, if this mortar observer wasn't there and it was just this casualty, they would cease fire immediately. The thing is, this mortar observer is going to go away in the enemy activity check segment. So I think it was then, wasn't it? Well, I know where I'll find that actually. Oh, look at that, I'm right at. How lucky was that? Remove good order spotter. Hang on. He's not good order anymore, Grant. Okay. Right, I kind of do need to find out then if they do keep firing. I don't know why I'm struggling with this. This is probably a simple question, you know. If there's only an enemy unit left on this card that's valid to be shot at, we know the casualty is not, do they continue firing on it? I know if it was us we would do it, but I do know that the AI generally gets to... yeah, why am I not getting that? It should be simple, shouldn't it? Okay, I cannot resolve this dilemma I have about if enemy units can continue firing on a card that just has their own units. I can't see anything that says stop. I mean, the only thing it says, and it keeps saying, is they will cease fire if there's no valid targets. And within the description of valid targets, it says anything that's not a casualty. So there is something that's not a casualty on this card. So I'm going to have to say that they do continue firing. I can't find anything to the contrary. So, yeah, but it feels like it's one of these daft things that I'm just... Maybe it's just as simple as that and they stay firing. I know if it was us we'd stay firing, but I just feel like they would stop in this situation. But I'm going to leave it like that just now, and we'll see. Again, this is a learning process, I think, just to get myself back into it. So we'll leave it as is for now. Okay, so where were we? We've done the combat. Were we in cleanup? Yeah, we were in cleanup. So remove all the markers, expose markers, grenade, mass, concentrated fire, evacuate casualties from casualty collection point, enemies firing at cards without valid targets, shift ceasefire. Well, I still think that's a valid target, I think. I've not found anything. I couldn't get anything. So adjust VOF, PDF and activity levels after all this. Okay. Right, let me go and take these exposed markers away. Yeah, I think that's right. That's everything cleared up. I know there was lots of exposed markers on these, but when they're like that, at least, you know, I know these are each individual kind of chit. Okay, this guy's got, but it's a rifle grenade he's got underneath him, and for instance, this is the RA's radio. So it's better when you look at it like that, but it did look messy with all the exposed markers. I'll see how that progresses. We'll keep an eye on that. So I think that's everything. I think that's the turn finished. Just feel like that's been a turn that might have some questions and might maybe get some comments regarding it. We'll see. I'm not sure about putting this up on BGG as well though, but I guess I would get more people having a look at it. And it's not that I want people to watch my videos or anything. I just, like I say, my priority is always to get the rules right. I don't like to just fudge along and sort of say, yeah, I'll just do that, it's fine, you know. Right, okay, we're at an hour and 20 minutes there anyway. So I moved the game turn marker on. Yeah, I did. I moved it on to turn 3. So I'll get this cut and put together and, well, actually, I'm going to come straight back once I've done that. And we'll see how this kind of progresses. Okay, I'll be back soon. Cheers.